Hey guys, I am back. All right. So we're now on day 25, and I am reading Steve Chandler's book, Shift Your Mind, Shift the World. And let's continue. We're on chapter 6. What I'll do is I'll leave the StreamYard up. Um, so if you'd like to work with me live, uh, here's the here's the link. So, you know what? I'm going to edit this. Let's see. Let's see what happens if I edit it. Work with me live. Hmm. Let's try this. Let's see if this works. Huh? All right. Great. All right, cool. So, what I thought of today was what I'll do when I do these book readings of books that I think are, really important is I will leave the link up and to interrupt me, and I invite you to interrupt me. Um, to come on the live stream and work with me live to create whatever it is that you want to create in your life. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue reading, and I usually read it for about 10 minutes. Okay, chapter 6, the biggest lie you've ever told. The best shifts in the mind are the shifts that take us from a lie to the truth. In all my years of coaching, training, and consulting, the most limiting lie people tell themselves is this one: I'm not creative. The self image of not being creative throws a dark cloud of limitation over your day because deep down you suspect that creativity is the answer. But with this belief called not creative, is your in your head, you are blindfolded. But with this belief called not creative in your head, you are blindfolded and handcuffed in the face of a challenge. Life happens to you, not with you or for you. Do you recognize that feeling of never quite finding the answer? You're walking through your day and you don't seem to have the answer to anything. Things get more problematic as you go. This create this creativity lie has stopped everything. It has stopped you from being playful. It has stopped you from being mindful. It has made you a wallflower at the dance of your own life. Soon your world seems to consist entirely of living up to other people's expectations. My friend Sandra was a consultant when she told me she was having trouble with a client of hers who wanted to hire her for a certain project. She didn't know what to decide to do, what fee to charge, or what scope of work he expected. I asked, "What do you want to create?" She was startled by that question because Sandra didn't see herself as creative. So the world, so the word itself felt uncomfortable. She was just a person trying to get by and not have life be so difficult. But that was the whole problem. Her life was stuck on difficult because she was not creating. When you know you can create, you can come back to your true infinite self. Your life is now a canvas, and the palette of paints is in your hands. That's what I suggested that Sandra do. Keep asking yourself what it is that you would like to create. You will begin to feel your own energy and imagination as the primary force. It's no longer secondary. When you are creating, you are composing the words and music to a whole show, just like your happiest moments as a child. Sandra told me how much she loved creating things as a child. She made clothes and painted in watercolors and wrote poems to her grandparents. She could identify with the easy creativity of childhood. Even today, she liked nothing better than being with children and talking to children. It reminded her of her own childhood. But now Sandra was taken aback by my questions about her own creativity because for years and years she had forgotten creation as an option for herself. In her mind, she had dropped creativity as her very source. She, like most adults, had learned to merely be defensive when it came to life. Life was something she was up against. Notice that most people are like Sandra. They are like a football team would be that only played defense and never played offense. They would never design plays, so they could never run plays. They would punt the ball away on first down. A mind shift occurs when people think to cultivate through a gentle practice of reflection, a self awareness of being connected at the depth of their being to infinite creativity. It's a kind of self awareness most people only associate with poets, artists, and musicians. But it will work for everyone. It will work for you. What do you want to create? All right, chapter 7. Doubt and the light goes out. Many people on the road to success are stopped by a moment of doubt. They doubt themselves. They don't have self confidence. They don't trust themselves. They don't really believe in themselves. I was working with a client the other day who had created a wonderful new product, a new service for people, and she was building a website for it. And and he was building a website for it, sorry. And he was getting very excited because he could see that once this was launched and the whole world could get access to it, he might be able to leave the job he was working on and really get into this full time. Then all of a sudden, he got really scared. Is this really happening for me? Is it really true? Am I really worthy? Do I really deserve this? All of us have had those moments. I know I have. But the point I want to remember is that my thoughts in those moments do not serve me on the road to success. They stop me. There's a way out of those moments because those doubtful moments can't happen unless I'm focused on myself, unless I am starting to obsess about me, my fears, my welfare, and my own survival. The cure is to turn that around, turn the whole focus around, turn the spotlight toward the people my work will serve, get it off me. Now, if I want to focus on the end user of now I want to focus on the end user of my service. It's a surefire way out of self-doubt. It's a way out of fear to focus on the client. Think about the person out there in life who is longing to receive your service. Someone who would really benefit from your ebook or from some other product of yours. Someone who would really love it if you communicated with them and gave them what you had. Keep your focus on them because that will get you back into action. That will have you less self conscious about how you're coming across. Now you're trying to help. You want to contribute to their lives. When you have information that would really help someone, you don't care how you say it or how you're coming across. You just want them to know about it. Shift the mind to other people. Shift it off your self conscious self. Chapter 8. Yes, turn that spotlight on the crowd. I was once a guest lecturer teaching students the art of public speaking, and it wasn't long before their self-consciousness began to arise as an issue. It always does when it comes to public speaking. My students were graduate students with a wealth of skills and knowledge and beautiful things to bring the world, but some were nervous about public speaking and worried about getting up in front of groups to talk. And this was despite the fact that what they had to talk about was powerful and inherently appealing, a fact they agreed with. One student said, I agree if people could get what I had to teach them, it would really help them. But I'm scared that I'm not a good presenter, and I'm worried that I'm not a very good speaker. So I have these fears and doubts that kick in. I wonder who wants to hear from me? Who am I really? Who wants to hear what I have to say? This fear isn't hard to understand. We grow up having these feelings pounded into us. My parents would say, who are you to talk to a grown up that way? Then we pound the thoughts and feelings into ourselves to even greater degrees as we get older. Again, I have found that the way out of this extreme self consciousness is to take the focus off of me. If I'm going to stand in front of a group of people and I have something that would really help them to hear or learn about or to learn about, I want to keep my focus on them. How can I help them? How can I serve them? How can I really light up their lives? I don't care how I come across in this. I've got something for them, and it's my job to deliver it. And all I want to think about is them, what they need, and would be what they would be helped by. Then I'll no longer be scared. It will take the focus off of me. I can only be scared when I am focused on myself. I can't be scared while helping someone. That's why you hear about people who wake up, look out the window, see a house across the street, see the house across the street is on fire, run out of the front door, hear a little kid crying inside, then break through the burning wood, walk through the flames, and pick up the child and run out. Later, people say, wow, what a courageous act. How did you find the courage in you? It was never about me. Picture someone who is in the desert, dying of thirst, and here you come and you have water. You have a bottle of cold water and they're dying of thirst. Are you worried about how you're dressed, what they might think of your hair, or how to say the right thing when you walk up to them, or whether you're a person someone would want water from? Come on, man, they're dying. So, therefore, there's no focus on you. Allow your mind to shift over to them so you have no fear, because fear comes from self focus, protecting the ego. Your job is to never worry about what people think of you or to doubt your passionate self. Your only job is to bring the water. Let's read one more. Chapter 9, Conflicts, Depression, and Recession. My friend, marketing consultant, and coach Scott Young brought a Harley Davidson ad from a newspaper to our coaching school, and we pinned it to the wall. Our school was the precursor and a major inspiration for a large mastermind of people that was later to be called Club Fearless. The ad's headline said it all. We don't do fear. It also said this: over the last 105 years in the saddle, we've seen wars, conflicts, depression, recession, resistance, and revolutions. We've watched 1,000 hand wringing pundits disappear in our rear view mirror. But every time this country has come out stronger than before, but every time this country has come out stronger than before. If 105 years have proved one thing, it's that fear sucks and it doesn't last long. And down below the page, next to the Harley Davidson logo, it said, "So screw it, let's ride." Indeed, that's just exactly the mind shift we are looking for. Because it's true, fear does not last long once you're actually out on the road and riding. All right. So we're going to stop here at chapter 9 and we'll finish tomorrow. And what I'll do while I'm reading these books, there's one other book I would like to read. Um, but let's see how far we can get in Steve Chandler's Shift Your Mind, Shift the World. Okay. All right. So again, my name is Zaid. And if you want to work with me, you can come on the live stream. Live stream's over right now. But in the meantime, I invite you to connect with me on LinkedIn. That's the main place where I hang out at. Okay. All right. I'm going to end the stream. And this has been day 25 of committing to 5 days of live streaming. Right. So I'm getting smarter as I'm doing this. I'm thinking of other things to do. One thing I might do is read a book like 1 or 2 days a week because there's some really good books out there. And what I like is the idea of being able to talk to people about them and work with people live as we're reading these books and applying these principles. That's one thing you can't get when you listen to an audiobook. There's no interactive element. So I like this ability to be interactive as we read these books, right? And I want you guys to also challenge me, right? If you think there's something in these books that you don't agree with, challenge me, or let's talk about it. Okay, I'm going to end the stream, and everybody